Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. We talk about a lot of various news pieces here on the channel, whether it is official reveals from Call of Duty themselves or from some of the studios about new content. We talk about various leaks, various rumors. What we got today is probably one of the more interesting pieces of leaked or rumored information that we've talked about in quite some time. It does actually line up with a reveal that I think a lot of players missed or didn't see because it wasn't really a normal reveal. Basically, what we got is a leak regarding the Cold War Year 2 content, new content for Cold War and Warzone that seems to be coming here at some point in the near future. As we cover it all, if you enjoy the video at any point, let me know by dropping a like on it, would be seriously appreciated. And of course, if you're new here or if you have not already subscribed, every day I got you covered with all things going on in COD, news, updates, loadouts, tips, you'll find it all right here. So feel free to subscribe with your notifications turned on. So yes, you heard that right, Cold War Year 2 content, something that I really didn't think we were gonna see much of outside of maybe the occasional store bundle or maybe a new blueprint here and there. But it does seem like we're actually going to see some pretty significant content coming to, like I said, both Cold War and Warzone at some point here in the near future. Now, before we get into some of the leaks and the rumors regarding what this leaked content is, we do have an official information that I really don't feel like too many people took note of when it happened. If we look back at Treyarch's 115-day blog from a few weeks back, they talked a little bit about the future. And because this is their 115-day blog, of course, it's predominantly talking about zombies. They say, if you've been paying attention to the narrative, intel, and conversations between our Dark Ether entities in Season 1, you might have an idea of where we're headed in Season 2. In addition to a new map hub located elsewhere on the globe, we'll be taking players to multiple arenas, including the Dark Ether itself, in a completely original location crafted for Vanguard zombies. Really nothing too important out of that, but it's part of the greater conversation with this paragraph. There's plenty more in the works for Season 2, including multiple wonder weapons, more survival gameplay, a new story quest, a new introduction of a Dark Ether entity, a new enemy type, so on and so forth. We're also already working on future zombies content, and this is the most important part, we're not even done updating our roster of operators in Black Ops Cold War. So what this blog is confirming, even though it's 99.9% regarding zombies content for Vanguard, is that we're going to see new operators introduced into Black Ops Cold War. Now, looking back, Year 2 content has been a thing here and there. During Infinite Warfare, there was a lot of Year 2 content and even some Year 3 content in Black Ops 3 just because Infinite Warfare didn't really do all that good. But also, MW 2019 had a good chunk of Year 2 content that certainly seemed like it was planned to be that Season 7 that ultimately we never got. We had Sparks, and then also Soap introduces brand new operators, similar to how we could see a new operator coming here to Cold War. We also got several new DLC weapons. The Psychov, the RAL LMG, the CX-9, all those were introduced in Year 2 of Modern Warfare while Cold War was going on. So it's not the biggest surprise in the world that we have Year 2 content, but between the leaks that we got today and then also this confirmation that there's more operators coming, it is a bit of a surprise, to say the least, considering Cold War was not nearly as hot as some of those other COD titles that did Year 2 content. So operators are cool. We have those officially confirmed to be coming to Cold War. No set dates, no specifics on who those operators might be. There's been a lot of talk of them potentially being zombies-based operators, though, because this came out of a zombies-based blog. But then we get to the main focus for today, the meat and potatoes, the weapon leaks. Yes, you heard that right. There's more weapons coming to Cold War. Initially, this comes from Alex over on Twitter. He's a pretty prominent leaker and data miner in the community. Then also Sebus, he's also talked about this a bit as well. So we got some cross-referencing going on. Alex ended up saying there is a new Cold War assault rifle coming to Warzone. Again, unfortunately, no specifics, but that was the first initial word that we heard from this. Then Sebus followed up by saying, we'll be receiving a new Cold War assault rifle in a few updates. So more of a timetable there. He also goes on to say, should be a bit more specific. Not sure how many updates, could be within seasons, but hopefully with Vanguard Season 2. No clue what the weapon's gonna be though. So unfortunately, there's not a ton of detail on what this Year 2 content is going to be besides a new operator, or at least one new operator, maybe multiple, and then a new rifle that could literally be any rifle from the Cold War era or any rifle they want to make. Maybe it has more to do with zombies. Maybe it has to do something more with a random season that they had from the start that ended up being, you know, scrapped, like what we saw with some of the Modern Warfare content. So no precise details, but it's an interesting conversation, especially when it comes to the time frame, because specifically looking back at Modern Warfare 2019, while we did see a decent amount of year 2 content right around you know, that early time period into the Cold War era with the Psychov, the CX9, the RAL LMG, then SOAP, and also Sparks, there really wasn't any announcements or big you know, Call of Duty official hype built, I should say, off of that content. Obviously the community was very hyped to see new Modern Warfare content because Modern Warfare was way better received and well received versus Cold War, which really was not a huge fan favorite, right? So we were all sitting there waiting and hoping for new MW content, and when it randomly dropped, it was awesome, but there was very little preview, promo, or even announcements from Call of Duty when any of that stuff dropped. You look at the SOAP bundle, that dropped, I think, like randomly on a Saturday morning when no one was expecting it, on a random little update for playlists. So all that content, really, the new weapons, the new operators for Modern Warfare, came on random days with no previews, no expectations. They just showed up in game. So now the question is, we have leaks for new weapons, we have confirmations for new operators. That in and of itself, the confirmations from Treyarch on the new operators, is more than we ever got for any MW content. But is this stuff going to be stuff that just randomly shows up on any given day in Cold War and Warzone? And it's like, oh, if you happen to check Cold War on Tuesday at 11:42, you'll notice there's a new weapon. Or is it going to be, hey, next week with the playlist updates for Vanguard and Warzone, you might see a surprise update go live in Cold War as well. Or maybe potentially it even shows up on the roadmaps for some reason, and it's Vanguard and Warzone, and also there's a Cold War bonus weapon and operator coming with the mid-season update. We're gonna have to wait and see, of course, but it's gonna be very interesting to see, one, how this is actually released into each game, if there's gonna be any kind of promo and hype built up around it, and two, if it's going to be a continued thing, or if, just like MW 2019, this is content that was there and probably planned at some point in time and ultimately scrapped, and now they're sitting there saying, hey, we've got this, the renders are done, the camos are all done, everything's good there, the animations are finished, why don't we just drop it in, and players who still want to unlock some stuff can go ahead and have something to grind out. It's going to be very interesting because Modern Warfare didn't have much of a year 2 content cycle, but what it did have was very cool and very hype and brought a lot of players back. If they continue to do this with Cold War, it'd be curious to see, especially because Vanguard is not selling as well as they wanted it to, if we get new content occasionally all throughout the coming year, you know, leading up to MW 2022. Of course, as any of this becomes public information officially from Call of Duty, from Treyarch, from Raven, if they announce any of these weapons or operators, we'll be covering it here on the channel, or if this stuff randomly shows up in game on any given day, we'll also be covering it here, so stick it here for that and everything else going on in COD. Feel free to subscribe with your notifications turned on to always stay up to date, and of course, if you guys enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like on it. It would be seriously appreciated. But all that said, that is going to wrap things up for today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.